Gentlemen, I am Lieutenant Colonel McCordick, Brigadier of the 2nd Canadian Training Brigade. Welcome to East Sandling, Kent. I will begin by impressing on you the great importance of your work. You must realize that however good and skillful a disposition may be, battles must be won by fighting. The heroism, skills, and firmness of the most junior officers will have the most far-reaching results. You are responsible for leading your men in battle. You are responsible for their safety, as far as that can be ensured while gaining success. You are responsible for their health, for their comfort, for their good behavior, and for their discipline. And last but not least, you are responsible for maintaining the honor of the Empire and of Canada by doing all you can to ensure the security of England, of our own country, our women, and the children who follow us. Now, if you are a good officer, you will have important influence on your soldiers, and no doubt they will have you in their thoughts in their greatest time of trial. An officer of mine, Lieutenant Watson Sime, wrote me a letter most recently after being captured by the Germans while fighting in France.
My dear Colonel McCordick, if you haven't already heard, you'll be surprised to get this letter from me in Germany. It happened at that awful slaughter, the Third Battle of Ypres, and even now when I think of it all, I doubt my reality of existence. Everything was okay at 7:30 a.m. on the 2nd of July. A little morning heat in the way of trench mortars, that was all. I had just visited a few of my guns and had passed Generals Mercer and Williams when the storm broke. It lasted for 5 hours, and by the time the Germans came over, there were few left to oppose them. By a miracle, the 15-yard bay of the front line, where I was with 6 others, was not leveled like all the rest of the line, and we did our best with rifles and bombs. I got a crack on the head, and 3 hours later I found myself in a shell hole. I tried to crawl back through, but at dawn was caught. I'm very comfortable here, and glad to have the company of Colonel Usher, Captain Light, Captain Frank Park, and about 20 other Canadians. Good luck, and best regards to all. Watson Sime.
Good officers will also remember that while there are important logistical concerns before an attack, like synchronizing your watch with the other officers, it is important to understand that bold and energetic action makes for success. When you see a company on the march, slack-looking, miserable, dirty, slow, almost sulky in coming to the attention, with half a dozen stragglers creeping along behind, and the officers and NCOs taking no notice, you can tell at once these are bad officers and that no discipline or energy exists there. On the contrary, when you see a company on the march, well closed up, men with their heads erect, even though covered with mud from the trenches, and quick and energetic in their movements as they go to the salute, these show good officers and a well-disciplined company. When you take your men into action, either an ordinary trench warfare or a major attack, all this discipline, all this training will repay you and your men 1,000-fold. Now let's get to work.